Alright, so we should have audio now.
Okay, can you hear us now?
Can you hear us?
How about now?
You can kind of hear us. Okay. I will turn
All right,
this up a
they can
little
hear
bit.
us.
Okay, yeah.
All right, excellent.
Almost full. Keep it
So,
in the range. So like you'll have to watch this.
Okay.
all right, yeah. So, what I was saying earlier is we're missing a couple players because one is sick and the other is working.
Yeah.
One of which is the normal tech support guy.
Yeah.
So he's
Our normal tech guy is sick, so I am temporarily taking over. Not usurping, just temporarily taking over.
Yeah,
not
mutiny.
usurping yet.
Okay.
Yes. Learning some new skills.
Yep.
Hi,
Yeah.
Cat.
So yeah, this is session 11. Gonna be a little different than the previous ones because we got to do a couple solo scenes first. But then we'll get the crew back together. So, but before we fully get started and doing everything, I got a couple housekeeping things to do. Hey, Jax. Need you to add something to your character sheet for me.
Oh no.
What is it?
Where does it go?
It's gonna go into the flaws section.
Oh no!
Jax has no flaws.
Not true.
Oh, he has so
He's
many.
got big ones.
And you earned yourself another big one. A nice
Yeah.
He earned it, huh?
3-dot dark secret flaw.
I already have a 3-dot dark secret.
Well, now you have another one,
Oh boy.
which is the diablerie of Dr. Crucio.
I mean, that's fair. That's just
That
fair.
is considered a 3-dot dark secret. So.
Damn.
And then I need to get a project roll from Spencer and Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be 7 dice from Sarah and 9 dice from Spencer.
Mm-hmm. Six.
You want to use a willpower?
Well, when you ask, yeah.
No, it's okay.
I mean, he just put it out there. Yeah. Are we doing any red dice or are they all black dice?
They'll all be black dice.
Okay.
And you don't actually need to use a willpower for this.
Well, I did, and now I have 8 successes.
Okay, good.
Wait, the 00 is... Yes. Okay.
Alright, I'm also gonna use a willpower.
00 means 100,
cat.
so got it.
I can move it. Alright, so I got 2 10s and 3 additional. Is
Damn.
that 7?
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna have each of you make that roll 2 more times.
Okay. Wait, cat. Cat is rolling my dice for me.
Always gets spooky when he asks for more.
5 successes on that one.
Okay.
Cat.
Just get rid of her.
Azer.
My goodness. Hold on. I want to see how much willpower I have. I'm gonna do another one. She's very dedicated to her projects. Only 4 this time.
Okay. And one last roll.
Mm-hmm.
7, and I got a crit.
Awesome.
Alright. Another willpower. 6.
All right. During the upcoming time jump, each of you are going to have made some pretty good progress on your projects. Spencer, you in particular, because you're working on learning that last step of blood sorcery for your good old Sith lightning. During the time that you're working on it, you notice that your attempts seem to be a bit more sporadic, or like a little bit more uncontrollable, but a little bit more potent. And so you get a few unexpected results, but after nearly, killing your sire a couple times on accident, you figure out like kind of what's going on and how to cope with it. So you went from basically 8 out of the 10 successes you needed for these projects rolls down to 5.
Sweet.
And the difficulty has gone down a little bit for you.
Sweet.
And this is due to having diablerized somebody so much older than you, that your blood's a little bit more responsive to disciplines. And as you kind of get used to, like, oh shit, this is like not how it used to be, it gets a little bit easier. So there's that. And all right. So now we'll do a summary for everything that's gone on last time. Who remembers?
My notes remember.
All right. Hopefully they remember well.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is the notes from the last time. Alright, so we cut to right. Ooh, during?
Like, right after
Hold
the
on.
death of
We just-
Crucio.
I'm trying to... Let's see. Okay, so the session before last is when we did the diablerie, so we cut to the action right there from Tala's point of view. She was able to get in with her spiders and cut the cameras, and confirmed that the wards that the doctor uses in his facility would also make it difficult for someone to scry or use some kind of means to see exactly what happened. It's not foolproof, but it does give us a little bit of protection. The Baron was called by the sheriff, and it was agreed that the Tremere will move these werewolf kids that were found in the lab to their facility so they can start altering their memories. Because Saoirse came up with a good plan of using them and planting them with the Second Inquisition so that the werewolves would unknowingly be our ally in this fight. And that, well, unknowing that we were manipulating them in that way, hopefully. They could still discover the altered memories, and then we'd be real fucked. Let's see.
Hoping for some enemy of our enemy.
Yeah,
really
big
hoping
time.
on that one.
I mean, last
which
time the nuclear bomb worked, so why not this time?
it works so
Yeah.
good. I want more success with nukes. That's what we all want.
We'll see.
You're too
Yeah.
American. You can't say that.
Indeed, I think in this
Jeez.
one or soon we will see. So the cover story for the events of the lab were that a possible bomb call happened. The authorities blew it up, but they found nothing. So that explains our actions and the werewolf's actions. Let's see. We got an update on the events happening around the secret boon we're working on. The graveyard. The group is working out, but there is some
Incidents.
dust-ups. Yeah, some dust-ups between the police and the activists. So we are probably going to have less access to those resources, but it's because we're putting them to good use. So that's pretty good. Saoirse's favorite pirate radio person was arrested due to how it sounds like she was covering the events of the graveyard. Quentin's touchstone is under investigation for the way he fed on the people under their care. Jax is Oh, he has a trial coming up with his Tremere people. And this was probably being pushed by the Archons with some of the information that we got through the grapevine. Saoirse and I think Tala are aware that there are some Thin Bloods that have gone missing. Hope and the Baron are concerned. Omar, because we've been focusing our efforts inside the city, has gained some more territory in the north. He's part of the Freedom Fighters, and he's an Anarch, I believe. He kind of took over after the Baron joined the initiative. So his territory expanded, and Quentin and the boys have decided that they would like to throw a party to celebrate the success of their last mission, which officially is that they got a premonition that for some reason a werewolf was going to kill the doctor. Weird. And we were able to put him down without losing any additional life than what was already lost.
Oh darn, we came too late to save Crucial.
Oh darn. Well,
Just
at
missed it.
At least we prevented a war with the werewolves.
Oh well, nothing of value was lost.
Yep. Let's see. So
What's that ash pile? Nothing. Keep.
Still
I'll
nothing.
I'll get that one. I'll
just
get that
walk
one.
through it. It's nothing.
Quentin started a rumor that there's a new drug causing the issues that were affecting his person. That it has nothing to do with her, and Saoirse like fake crowdfunded some lawyer fees, but really she like donated 90% of the money to help her friend get out of jail, basically.
Did a bunch of micropayments.
Yes, like she just did a whole bunch of masks, whole bunch of different accounts.
Just spoofed off of
Just-
people.
Yep, absolutely. All those people who left their IDs at the bar because they were too drunk. Whoop, couldn't find them. Weird. We have your card on file. Not that she wants to make that a habit. Or even, I don't think she did that. I think she just put in a lot of work to make it look like her own money was not coming directly from her. Let me see. I think that's all I have.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that was all of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to find out.
And the other thing was there were rumors among the Toreador that they were planning, or they're starting to plan a Halloween ball. And there was some talk last time of like hijacking it and getting the credit for it.
Like, dude,
100%.
Especially since not many people, they haven't really announced it yet. you only know about it because you have a Toreador in the coterie. And that's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for this session, there's a couple of scenes that are going to occur during your multi-week time jump. And I imagine for Saoirse and Jax, they would not want any of the other coterie mates to be there with them.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Saoirse, we'll start out with yours. Because Minister Eli is going to be taking you to meet a special somebody who can help guide you onto the path of Golconda.
Oh, is this what the project roles were?
No, the project role was a while ago. You started a project of wanting a Brewhall van.
Oh.
Yeah, the Brewhall van that had like odd still in it.
It was more a
Club car.
Club car.
Yeah, club car. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what that is. It's kind of working.
I socialized my ass off.
Yeah, you're working with some Toreador who are, getting there.
Toreador that are saying, "You look a little pale."
Yeah, you doing all right?
Mm-hmm. He'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to start at the scene here with just Saoirse and Minister Eli, who... So you start out at Minister Eli's club, and he... Of course, you would go into this knowing what's going on, and he meets you in the back of his club, where a car is waiting, and he says, in order to transport you to the meeting site, I've been requested to take some extra precautions.
Do I get to keep my eyes?
Yes.
Okay.
But he pulls out a black bag, but I gotta cover him up.
Fine.
So he puts it over your head, tightens it down, and unfortunately it's going to be kind of an uncomfortable ride because he pops open the trunk. You got to ride in the trunk.
Not the first time.
Okay. So he helps you get in there, shuts it, and you guys drive off.
Do I have earmuffs?
Nope.
Oh, interesting. That's a lot of trust he's putting in me.
Mm-hmm. But there is music playing from the front. It's opera. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to actually hear past it because it's like the really high wailing opera. And he has it up pretty loud.
I like it.
You guys drive around for about 45 minutes before he parks it and helps you out. And he guides you into a building, still with your face covered. And it's not until you're sitting he guides you down into a chair that he removes the bag from your head. And as you look around you, it's kind of like the police interrogation rooms. It's like a light over a table with a couple of chairs or a chair on each side. And Mr. Eli's like, all right, well, wait here. She'll be in shortly.
All right.
And he steps out. And
so I know in the future, how much hunger do I have?
We'll say just start at 1. All right. So a few minutes later, a lady walks in, wearing just black pants and a baggy sweater with the hood up. And it's actually a pretty big hood. It's one of those ones where it's like your head's here, but the edge is like way out here.
Mm-hmm.
And she quietly steps over and takes a seat in front of you. It's like, good evening, Saoirse.
Good evening.
I hear you're seeking enlightenment.
Always and everything.
I see you've struggled to keep yourself as you are.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple years, actually. It's gone a lot faster than I thought.
And as she talks, she does kind of look down, so all you can really see is like her lips and her chin, which are extremely pale. So tell me, what, if anything, do you know about Golconda?
I mean, I think I got your guys' pamphlet. I'm kidding. I do that when I meet new people. I mean, Eli has been very kind and humoring, but he acknowledges that he's just a doorway. I have to step through it still.
Mm-hmm. So why do you seek Golconda?
I've never been one to shy away from my nature. But also there's a dual nature now, different from when I was alive. And I was... You know about the hunt a few years ago? With the Toreador?
Of course.
And you know that... Well, I don't know if you know. That I ate someone's soul during that.
Why would you do such a thing?
I wanted power. I was close to death, and I knew that I was going to die. And I thought that I knew what I was doing, and I clearly didn't.
So was it worth it?
No. I don't believe so. Not right now. Not in the years that came. In that moment, I had a vision, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I was myself, and I was the most alive I'd ever been. And I could see where I came from, I think. I felt like I was back in Ireland. There was a person there. She reminded me of my family. And I don't mean just one person. I mean, like, my whole family. And it was strange to feel the most I've ever been myself, but also know that I destroyed everything that was that other person.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been interested in what the church can offer since then.
I see. That vision is be very important and useful. Could be a guide trying to save your soul.
That's what it felt like.
And with this all having happened, how do you feel about your beast? Do you hate it?
No. I've never... Well, that's not true. I've struggled early on. but I can appreciate it. Like, nothing is inherently evil or good. It's how it's used. At least that's my take on things at this point.
I see. Even though your beast leads you to do terrible things, you don't believe it's evil.
I do not.
All right. And do you think you're worthy of Golconda?
Worthy of a try, maybe? But I think the only way to become worthy is to do.
And what have you been doing and what will you do with this eternal life that you've been granted?
What have I been doing? I think early on I was just trying to figure out this new world I was in. And then I had some pretty strong opinions without a lot of experience or wisdom. Comes with time and more experience. So I bucked the system a few times. And that had its own repercussions. But what I really want is to build something new, to make a place in this new world. It's different. That's freer and maybe more genuine, but also doesn't give up everything in the process.
Interesting.
And I honestly feel like the initiative is new, and it's different, and it has promise. And I want to keep building it. But also I want my clans especially to achieve their goals as well, and to make them safe. I want to be a guide. I want to be a vessel of change. I want to be strong enough to do that.
All right. What are you willing to sacrifice to achieve both your dreams and goals as you stated? And what are you willing to sacrifice to achieve Golconda?
I think if you're trying to build something bigger, you have to sacrifice your time, your energy, your safety, sometimes your sanity to get it done.
So you're willing to sacrifice anything?
Not at the cost of what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah. What about at the cost of another person?
It's hard. I'm much more willing to sacrifice myself than other people.
Let's see. Well, sounds like you have a chance.
That's all I'm asking for.
It's not a chance I'm giving you. It's a chance that you've naturally set up for yourself. You have a chance at achieving Golconda. But, of course, it's not easy. It's a long
That
path.
the wild is, so I got time.
So, let me tell you a little story about Golconda and the history of what it is. Volcana comes from way in the past. It's very old. And say, how much do you know of the origin myth of Kindred?
I mean, if you listen to Quentin, I got a few theories. But I think the most common one I've heard around is that somehow or other the big guy himself came to be, and he was alone, and he made those like him, and each of them were powerful and got old and got set in their ways or powerful enough to break out of their ways. And some conflicts happened and families started coming from that. More or less.
Yeah. So
How the beast got in there? Nah, I don't know.
Okay. Let me fill in some blanks for you.
Oh, please.
So, one popular believed story of the origin of Kindred begins back with Cain and Abel. And as you might know, that God had demanded that Cain and Abel make multiple sacrifices. And they sacrificed gifts that consisted of the first part of all you have, which is the first part of all your joy. The first time they went to sacrifice, Cain, as a farmer, took the best of all of his fruit and everything he raised, his pride and joy, and offered it up. Whereas his brother, who was a shepherd, Abel, slaughtered the youngest, strongest, and sweetest of his animals, with which he offered up to God. Abel sacrificing first, his sacrifice smelt sweet, once placed upon the sacrificial fire, and it was deemed worthy, and for this he was blessed. But Cain, his sacrifice did not smell sweet, as his brother did, and it was deemed unworthy. And for this he was struck by lightning, sent by God, and bestowed a curse, for sacrificing something that was not the first part of all he had, nor the first part of his joy. The time came for a second sacrifice. Abel again brought the youngest and strongest and sweetest of his herd. But Cain knew that God would not accept the best of his crop. So he instead sacrificed that which was truly the first of all he had, and the first part of his joy. He sacrificed his brother. And as the blood of Abel covered the altar, it did smell sweet, just as Abel's sacrifices had. However, instead of a blessing, God placed a mark upon Cain, and cast him into the land of Nod to walk in darkness for eternity. And this mark, seemed to be it's a mark that would prevent anyone from killing him, in a sense giving him immortality. Now, in his banishment in the land of Nod, in the abyss, in pure darkness, he ran into Lilith, who was Adam's first wife. Lilith, having spent so much time alone, brought Cain into her own version of the Garden of Eden. Here she fed him, clothed him, and cared for him. But upon learning that Lilith possessed magic, he convinced her to teach it to him. And eventually she agreed to do this, and the ritual that followed required that he drink some of her blood. And after doing so, Cain fell into a trance. And in this trance, he was falling again through the abyss. And it was in this trance, and in this place, that he was visited by the angels, Michael, Raphael, and Uriel. Each came to offer him a chance to repent for killing his brother Abel. Michael was the first to come, and informed him that Abel had forgiven him, and asked if he would repent. But Cain, in his pride, refused. And in such, Michael bestowed the curse upon Cain and his children, that they would always fear Michael's living flame, as it would bite deep and savor our flesh. Raphael then, as the second angel to come to Cain, informed him that Abel had forgiven him, and asked if he would repent. But again, Cain had refused. And for this, Raphael cursed Cain and his children, so that they would fear the dawn, as the sun's rays would forever seek us, and it shall burn like fire. And then he was visited by Uriel, the angel of death. Uriel informed him that God had forgave him, and offered Cain the chance of death, if only Cain would repent. But again, Cain refused. And for this, Uriel bestowed another curse upon Cain. The curse that he would walk forever in darkness, drink only blood, and eat only ashes. That he would be frozen at the point of death, and cursed so that all they touch would crumble into nothing. But then, a fourth angel came. The angel Gabriel, the angel of mercy. Gabriel did not ask Cain to repent, nor did he curse Cain. Instead, Gabriel offered Cain and his children a path toward enlightenment, known as Golconda. This would be the only path that would allow Cain and his children to regain their humanity and to achieve enlightenment, which would allow them to walk once more in the light of God. So it is from these curses that all of the weaknesses of kindred stem from. And after being cursed by each angel, and then visited by Gabriel, he awoke from his trance. Having been awoken, you could say, able to access what we now call disciplines. But this path to Golconda is a very personal one. It's extremely challenging, and so much so that there are very few kindred who have actually succeeded. But before I continue on, do you have any questions?
You know what happened to Lilith?
Yes. Shortly after Cain had been granted the magic that she possessed and taught the disciplines of our kind, Cain broke free from her bond and left her garden. And some say that in later years, Cain had returned to her and her garden, but not alone. He had returned with his 13 children, and together they destroyed and burned the garden of Lilith. And for this, she seeks eternal revenge. Any others? Questions?
No, I think I'll just listen.
Okay. So, as Golconda is such a personal journey for people, I can't tell you every step to take, but I can show you where you can begin. And based on what I've learned today of you, there's a path that seems to be fitting for you. And it's a path that was developed and named as the Hunters of the Golden Cicada. The easiest way to... Yeah, it's old. But the easiest way to state the beliefs of this path would be with the maxim, use the blood to uplift the kine, and the kine will uplift the blood. So to begin your journey, it would be wise to embrace the following conviction and fully integrate it into your sense of self, which is that you do not allow cruel treatment of the living. This is because the kine represents a unique chance to achieve a glorious state of Golconda. By purifying their spirits, you purify their blood. By purifying their blood, you elevate them. By taking their blood, you elevate yourself.
I feel like that's something I've been struggling with lately. It's been harder for me to see beyond myself.
As I said, it's not easy.
No, it's good.
But if you are to keep this in mind and fully embrace this belief that you will not allow cruel treatment of the living, in theory it will help you question yourself before you do anything that would cause harm. And in doing so, it will lead you to perform acts which actually help humanity rather than helping yourself. And so the best place to start is to do just that. Find ways in which you can assist mortals and the living, those who struggle. Even if it brings cost to you, and it would be challenging for you, do what's right and help them. The next step in achieving the balance that you seek between you and your beast would be to prevent your beast from ever taking control on its own. It will try to crush your control and take over. You will try to lose yourself in frenzy. Do not let it do this. There's a time and place for the beast to come out, but you must be strong enough to allow it out at appropriate times. Mechanically speaking, use willpower to prevent your frenzy as often as possible. So, but the goal with doing all of this is that you need to strengthen your mortal side. Your beast has been winning.
Yeah.
And unless you can find something that really locks you in and reminds you of what humanity is, you're never going to win. The more you allow your beast to take control of you, the more of a monster you'll become. Now, as you come to master this conviction and these steps, the following steps along the path will become apparent to you. And I will be here to help guide you along this path. But there will come a time, if you are successful, when you are faced with the final test of your journey. And this is an event called the Suspire. It's kind of a vision quest, some might say. Though I advise you strongly that you only attempt this when you are ready. Because the consequences of failing your Suspire are that you will never achieve Golconda. Not even if you try again. That path will be closed to you forever. And you may also lose yourself because of this failure, and you may fall into a sail, or you may become a wight. So, again, be prepared for that.
No, that would be fitting.
But before you depart for tonight, I have a way that I can help you in this struggle, in this journey. I can bestow upon you a mark, the symbol of Archangel Gabriel. This mark will be there for those times that you may be about to throw yourself off your path and throw yourself into eternal darkness. And this sign will be there to warn you. If you accept, I will bestow it upon you.
I accept.
So where would you like this mark?
So she has like the cut below line on one side.
Mm-hmm.
From when she lost her arms. And
Yep.
ha ha ha. So she was gonna get like a really big sleeve of like angels and demons on this side. So she'll put it in that. Like where she is planning on doing that.
Okay.
Like maybe on her forearm. Something that
Okay.
she can see usually pretty easily.
Alright. So she'll put her hands over that spot on your arm, and she'll pull out a small knife and actually cut herself, and then put her hand down on your skin. And she'll mumble some stuff. And you will feel intense pain and agony. It's as if they're branding you with this mark. But it also forces all of those feelings of regret and remorse to the surface of the bad actions that you've performed, such as the last time you killed somebody.
Oh no.
You
So, a
feel
couple days
all
ago?
yeah. You feel all of the pain of their family and everything that has all the negative impacts that your actions have caused. They just wash over you. Doesn't cause you to terror or like frenzy. But as she removes her hand, the feelings kind of sink in, and you see that there is a branded mark of Gabriel there. And you do feel that one dot of humanity has been restored. So you have
Worth it.
What are you up to now?
She looks up to you now for the first time. And you can see that from the third eye on her forehead, Vitae is seeping from it. Since this is my gift to you so that you may seek enlightenment. Tell no one of my existence. Especially not your Tremere coterie mate.
I think like when the mark was going on, she was like rage screaming, but tears of blood were just like coming out of her eyes. So she just sort of was like, gotcha, 100%.
The Tremere learn of my existence, they will likely try to diablerize me as they have all of my kin. So I'm trusting you. As long as you do not breach this trust, I will be here to guide you.
Understood.
With that, the scene will come to an end. With
Hey,
them
Saoirse,
guiding
cool
back
brand.
out.
Where'd you get it?
Now,
One of my homies.
yeah, no, it doesn't actually look like a burnt-in brand. It does more look like an odd tattoo, where it may have had some kind of weird screw-up happen in it, so that the skin didn't heal perfectly correct. So it's kind of like perfectly scarred or something. But mechanically, what this is going to do is this represents the lore sheet that you have for Golconda. You have the first dot, which is once per story you can ask if you're about to do something that will throw you off your path of Golconda. And I can tell you. So mechanically, this represents that, because instead of me telling you yes or no, this mark is going to burn and cause extreme pain, which will be telling you,
You really want to do that?
Are you sure you want to give up everything?
What does that mean once per story?
So, normally with Vampire, storytellers format their game a little bit different than I have. Whereas they focus on like one story at a time. So, they would run like 10 sessions with one story, beginning, middle, end, and any time along their point, you could use a once per story action. For me, I actually have like 4 or 5 stories running at the same time, and they're all weaving together in and out.
You have a universe.
So for me, you can attempt to use this on something connected to one of those stories, and I'll basically let you know if you can or not.
Okay.
So, if you've already used that ability on this story or not. So, yeah. But that is where we'll wrap up that scene.
No pressure, huh?
Oh no, there's it's gonna be super easy.
You screw up, you turn into a white.
Yep.
Whoopsie.
That's kind of how it goes if you fuck up with life in this game too, though.
Yep.
As
I
in
was
life,
thinking
just
like,
death.
man, I can just go get a
If you
humanity
fuck up, you
back.
fuck
That's
up.
fucking awesome. And then, don't tell anybody about my existence. Shit. Especially not your Tremere friend. Damn it.
Double don't tell that.
I love your
Yeah.
racist.
I
was
just want to
gonna
say, I wasn't there when those decisions were made.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So, interesting.
Yeah, learned a,
It's a
lot
conscience
of
mark.
lore.
I was gonna say, does it look like a cricket? Just
Yeah, it's Jiminy
A
Cricket.
Jiminy Cricket. You're
yeah, a
muted.
little Jiminy Cricket.
I am still
Or
muted. You're right.
Tall.
Sorry, the ghost boy wandered in, so I had muted it. But yes, very much the Jiminy Cricket burned on your arm.
It's a conscience mark.
You're making a bad decision.
You're-
It's
Are you? Yeah, it's a Clippy. Are you sure
Yeah.
you wanted to do that?
It's the spray bottle of life. It's like, stop doing that. No, walk away.
Hey, stop,
Yeah, stop.
muskrat.
All right. So next we have a scene with Jax.
Yay.
Well, a couple of scenes. First one's going to be short and simple. So this first one, we'll say it's as you're like walking along around the university, and you'll see a student come. Well, they'll come like skipping up to you, and
Trap.
she'll tell you that the princess is upset at my actions. I found the clown who has taken 2 already, but I fear he may kill a 3rd. He works for the collector, and they all must be stopped. I'll be away for a bit. Stay pretty, Uwu. And then she turns and skips away.
Quentin?
Yep.
So, okay. But he pinches his arm to be like, "Yeah, no, that's real."
Okay.
All right.
So, yeah, Quentin will be away for a little bit. But Jax, you were planning on spending some time visiting Cassandra, your daughter.
Visiting is
Or
not.
connecting with,
Yes.
in a sense.
Yes.
And
Surprise, everybody! I have one of those.
now, up until this point, you've been very careful and
Mhm.
only learning of, like, keeping in touch with what she's up to by proxy.
Mhm.
But you've been losing some humanity, so I imagine for this time you would go and kind of keep an eye on things yourself.
Mhm.
Not interact, but watch, like, see from a distance, right?
Mhm. Very much.
So you go and, like, check on her a few different times during this time jump. And you see that Cassandra's fiance, Blake Thorne, has moved in with her and her 2 childhood best friends, who are roommates. And they now live together in a 3-bedroom house towards the center of the residential district. It's a decent older house that seems to be well cared for. And the 4 of them rarely ever seem to have parties. And your daughter only goes out to parties on occasion, which you could assume due to her and her roommates being in law school.
Hey, guess who gets to take more acetaminophen now?
Whenever they aren't at late night study groups in class or working, Cassandra, Blake, and her roommates tend to do things together on a regular basis, such as weekly movie nights in the backyard on a projector, or going on hiking trips in the redwoods. So she seems to be doing pretty well. She seems to be all right. Late one evening, you find yourself watching over your daughter from afar, and you find her in one of the study rooms in the library of the university, working with a handful of other students. And although you can't hear them talking, you can tell by their body language that they are having a really difficult time and have clearly been arguing on and off. And You see her like slamming papers down on the desk and pointing at the student across from her. And after what's likely been a long and stressful study session, a long week, they eventually pack up and begin to take their leave. And you can tell by the way she carries herself that she is exhausted, stressed out, and likely overwhelmed. And I imagine that you would probably follow her home.
Mm-hmm.
As she only lives a few minutes away from the campus, which you can easily do without her noticing. You've done it a few times before. You know the route and everything. And as she parks in the driveway, you see that most of the house is dark and quiet, as it is close to midnight. And despite knowing that at this point you should probably head out, there's just that urge. You can't help but stay. It's your little girl. You just want to see one more minute of her before you have to leave. You can see her come and go through the living room windows. And instead of heading to bed, though, you see her leave the house once again. But this time she's dressed in a nice black dress carrying some flowers. And you see her climb into her car and drive off. Would you follow her?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you safely follow her through to the smaller cemetery, one of the smaller cemeteries located on the east side of the residential districts, near the Redwoods. You can see her pull in and park in the small parking lot in the front of the cemetery. Would you pull in behind her and see what's up?
I would park a little ways away, but yeah, I'd follow her in.
Okay. So from the shadows of the cemetery, you do see that she makes her way in front of a grave. And it's a grave that you know because it is your grave. Here she brushes away the leaves, picks up the dead flowers from her previous visits, replaces them with the new ones, sits there and talks a little bit before she
Go get your dad.
begins to cry.
Yeah, go get your dad.
Could I
Go get your dad.
actually attempt to get close enough to hear what she says?
No,
Yeah.
it's your squid. Go
Could
get
make
your
a
dad.
dex stealth roll.
Go get your dad.
There are some lights in the cemetery,
Go get your dad.
but not a whole lot. Oh man.
Wait, so I can add 3 die to... Can I, like, if I do a blood surge, I can add 3 die to this?
Yes, you'll just
Okay.
have to make a rouse check to surge the blood.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yep.
Got a 10. I do not get hungry.
Perfect.
So then... Six.
Okay. So she is pretty upset right now, and as you get closer, you notice she's not just crying, she's sobbing. And you can hear through her sobs going on about how just difficult everything has been lately, how she's been trying her best in law school, but for some classes it's not good enough. About how she's been trying to keep a relationship going because he's the best thing to happen to her since you died, or since you were in her life, and it's just so overwhelming. She doesn't think she can take it, She wants to be as strong as her dad believed she was, but she doesn't know if she can. And she doesn't want to let you down. And she really doesn't want to be like her mother. And she just doesn't know what to do. And she wants your help. And she wishes that you were there for her to guide her in the right direction. And she just keeps going on crying. After a good 45 minutes, the tears start to slow. And she says that she misses you more than she has in a long time. And she's confused because after all these years, some of your old coworkers from the FBI stopped by. And they were just asking some questions about you. And she kept telling them that you died, but they just keep acting like you had gone missing, not died. And so they told them to call her if she had anything to say. And that this was one of the most painful things, bringing up all the memories about how she lost you. But she then picks up her flowers, the dead flowers, and begins to make her way back to the car. And your stealth is high enough that she's so in the zone that she doesn't notice you. But as she's walking out of the cemetery, she does seem to be feeling a bit better, having gotten all of this off of her chest. And she does climb once again into her car and begins to head home. What would you do?
I am, for the most part, snapped out of the moment because I'm now going into, oh, that's a huge problem. I do not follow her home. I instead do take a flower from my grave.
Okay. Make a wits awareness check.
Fuck. That is a 6, and I crit.
Okay, good. So, you go and grab one of the flowers and pick it up. And you look up to see your daughter pulling out of the driveway. She turns to head home. A few seconds later, you see a set of headlights turn on from across the street. The car pulls out and follows behind her. This is a car with tinted windows.
Mm-hmm.
A car which you can clearly recognize as a federal vehicle.
Okay.
And you can assume that it is following her home.
Okay. Cool. I definitely do not follow, then. And I believe I would go back to the university. Because we don't have anything else going on at the Haven.
Okay. So, upon one of the other nights that you would spend trying to make sure your daughter's all right with these FBI following them. The geeky horror nerd that you had been using to keep an eye on
My
her
man.
reaches out to you, and he lets you know that your daughter's a little worried because there's been this vehicle parked out in front of her house off and on for like a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another vehicle with tinted windows, and there's usually a guy sitting there, just sitting there. And
Can I at some point make a anonymous, doing like
Tip?
an anonymous tip that somebody's being followed?
like to the police, or
Yeah.
yeah, you could do that. And nothing comes of it.
Damn it. Okay.
You should contact Neighborhood Watch.
One of those apps.
I'll get what is it? I'll get one of the private security.
Get one of the Karens
Yeah, I
to
was like-
knock on that fucking window and be like, "Who the fuck are you? Why are you here? I
Yeah.
have your license."
I'm a sovereign
Bunch of
citizen.
Karens all stirred
yes.
up.
Ideally,
yeah.
yes.
They'll make it their problem. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Are you the sheriff? Then you don't have any legal right
That's
to
actually
be
a
here.
good idea.
Peeping?
That's actually a good idea.
Mhm.
That,
I have those.
So
Okay.
that'll be my response to Sir Horror Nerd. Is like, do you think it's like I'll plant that seed in his head? Do you think it's somebody who's just like being a public creep or
Do you
something?
think it's like a stalker?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if her neighbors noticed. Like,
Ooh.
just kind of get
Mhm.
that ball rolling.
Yeah. Have you talked to the neighbors?
know-
Did they know about it?
Yeah, he'll say like, no, I think it's a murderer. Yeah, it's one of those like serial killers from the horror shows.
Sounds like you need to tell everyone.
Then I
Yeah.
think you should definitely try to tell everybody about it. Make sure everyone's aware.
All right, I will.
Mhm.
So
Oh, they'll get you little son of a bitch. Those mall moms will get you.
They're mean.
You're gonna lose your badge. Yeah, they're mean.
They're mean.
They're gonna cut you down with words.
interesting. Not something I was going to expect. So expect the army of Karens to come up.
I mean, it's in the residential district. It is definitely people who think that they have way more power than they do,
Yeah.
Or
and
just
that guy's an out-of-towner.
or just become a general nuisance because they think they know better.
Yeah.
Make one dot in General Karen's.
Like that they
Influence
just
over Karens.
that every time that guy parks there, they just surround his car and
That or they do the like chalk lines to be like, he hasn't moved his car in like 3 days.
Mhm.
What is he doing here?
Hell yeah, that's actually
Ooh. Oh, never mind.
good brainstorming, everybody. That's actually
I
a
was
solid
like, the other
strat.
thing is like,
Is-
depending on how affluent the neighborhood is, you could be like, I think he's living out of his car.
Ooh, yeah.
That would really set off a lot of the stay-at-home
Soccer
parents.
moms.
Yeah.
So, we'll say a couple of nights later, your horror geek had been like going around telling Karens about this.
Fuck yeah.
So the next night that our mystery car is parked there across the street from your daughter's house, their neighborhood watch program kicks off. And you get about like 15 raging Karens come out.
Hell yes.
They got their flashlights and their cell phones, and
They're recording video.
Yep.
World Star. I'm recording this.
And they're just like, "Hey, stalker! Hey, you! Get out of the car! What are you doing here? You don't belong here. This is our neighborhood. We're calling the police. We're recording you."
Mischief managed.
And he tries to leave, but the Karens don't let him.
Yes,
They're waiting for the cops.
Hell yes.
So he gets out of the car and flashes a federal badge.
Mm-hmm.
Says, "I'm Agent Smith with the FBI. You need to desist and go home now." He slowly shows each of the Karens his ID, his badge.
His badge number, they all write it down.
They do.
I've seen The Matrix.
Excellent.
This is fake.
We're talking to your supervisor first thing in the morning.
How many sovereign nation speeches does he get?
Oh,
Or like sovereign
my God.
citizens? Yeah, sovereign citizen speeches does he get?
Oh, he gets like 3 in a row.
I'm a citizen of Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's stuck there for a good like 45 minutes, just listening to this non-stop bullshit.
Just having steel chairs of verbal, unbreachable arguments thrown at him.
Yeah. Yeah. And he keeps trying to just like get them to go the hell away, but they won't.
It only riles them up more.
Yeah, they just get more mad. Now they're going faster.
And finally, some cop cars do show up,
My husband works for the city.
and the cops actually announce, like, "All right, ladies, it's time for you to go home. We've got this." And they talk to this guy, shows the badge, and then all of them leave for the night. But the next morning, the next night, you have a voicemail on your phone from your horror geek that the FBI performed a raid on your daughter's house, and they've taken her in for questioning.
Okay.
And they haven't let her out yet, and it's been all day.
Okay.
More Karens.
Does the horror geek know anything about the warrant for her arrest?
Well, she's taken in for questioning. It's not the same.
Oh, yeah.
This is specifically by the FBI.
Yep.
At least they
Is-
identified themselves as the FBI.
Yeah, there's like FBI uniforms and like the FBI flak jackets and everything, and
Okay. I am... How involved is my FBI touchstone with, like... Because this is up to you. Does he know about my daughter? I'd imagine so, if he was my buddy.
yep.
Could I try to get him to do whatever he can to try to get her out of that?
Yeah, it'll. Yeah. Do you
I don't-
actually like call him up directly?
No.
Okay. So
Go through the usual channels of trying to get in contact with him.
yeah. So one of the letters he leaves you will explain that he hasn't been told anything about this investigation
Mhm.
because it would be like a conflict of interest for him, as he was your friend. and has been your friend. And that they're investigating how it is you're still alive, even though there's death reports for you.
Mm-hmm.
And as a former federal agent, they're concerned. And they believe that your daughter knows something about your new life that you're trying to hide. And so he doesn't have access to any of the investigation or anything like that, but he will do his best to try to get your daughter out.
Okay. All I needed.
Yeah. And he'll mention that the reason they launched this investigation was because they have pictures of you. Pictures from some meeting in a parking lot. Meaning some kind of gang that soon broke into like a gang war type of thing. So they believe you might be behind some kind of serious illegal activities now as well.
Okay.
Yep. And it'll take after a few days, your daughter still has not been released. And that's where we're going to pick up with the rest of the coterie.
So anyway, I was thinking we could start like a soup kitchen. Like maybe do that in the mornings. Maybe like have
in our mornings, so like.
Oh yeah. I'm
like,
gonna just put Philly on
midnight?
it. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, no. I'll put Philly on it in the mornings. We could do like a needle exchange program there. Have like a nurse on site. Maybe some counseling options. I don't know. Like I'm just throwing it out there. I think it'd be nice to do in that area.
So like in
Just offhandedly.
well, where
Yeah.
like when there's a character
Actually.
who's like not at all in the conversation that's happening, and to them they're just like staring at the floor, and it's just like white noise is all they're hearing.
Yeah,
that's me right now.
You just back to though.
Yeah,
You've got
Like-
like 18 other things in your head right now.
like head in my hands, like staring at the floor. And so I was thinking like a soup kitchen,
Yeah.
and he could not give a fuck. So that's all I'm doing right now, is I'm just staring at the floor.
Oh yeah, you're dissociated, like hardcore. You're not here.
I'm taking note of the that Karens have seemingly been disarmed.
You're like, have anyone? I
Like-
thought the Karens were the one that's gonna do it.
Well, like, fuck, like, weren't they the last line of defense a couple years ago? Like, what the fuck?
Well, the feds knew that their cover had been blown by the Karens, so they just moved
So
in.
they just went in.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
Those goddamn bitches.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
once one Karen knows, you're fucked. But if 15 know,
You gotta do something.
yeah,
It's a problem.
game over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just so mean.
They're just mean.
And Tala,
Yeah.
you were hoping to reach out to Hope.
Yes.
to
follow up about the disappearance of Thin Bloods that's been going
Yep.
on.
She
Wait.
would have.
You know, Karens are 100% a squad of hunters, right?
Did you just are you just like whispering that under your breath? You're just like,
That's what Paul said.
Oh, I
Oh,
missed
yeah.
it.
That's our next campaign. We play the Karens.
I'm
Oh.
Valerie. I'm a bitch.
Valerie.
Yeah, so Hope would have let you know that she's willing to meet with you whenever you have time. And she gave you her number and said that you guys could meet somewhere in like Mason Square, which is a part in your domain.
Mm-hmm.
And just whenever you're ready to give her a call.
Okay. Yeah. That's gonna be my main concern right now because I know there's a lot of just like very similar to what we ran into with the werewolf kid. It very much is disconcerting when there's something going on and I have not heard any inkling of it. Like, I know there's some stuff like the Tremere black sites and such that it's expected to not hear about, but something like this is lightly alarming. So yeah, I want that's definitely going to be a high priority for me, is following up on that. And yeah, I'm probably going to give her a call almost immediately. I'm going to check in with I'm gonna hit up my bar job and do, like, you know, kind of check in with a few of my usual haunts, but yeah, I'd like to follow up with her. So Saoirse, I know you also expressed interest in wanting to follow up with that. I don't know if this is, because this is like now, so you are free from your time jump stuff. So if you do want to join in on that.
Or I'm completely bound to it now. Not free at all.
Love talking to religious people. Okay, so
he's not religious.
I heard that spiel.
He's not religious, like, though.
Your Jiminy Cricket, Mark.
You do the Dr. Evil, right?
Anywho, it's just the vague. Well, in one way, I'm not unburdened by it.
That wasn't in game. Like,
yeah,
you said time jump. That was not in game.
That was not in game. But am
I losing time? Shit.
The blackouts. Yes. Yeah. So I
thought I was past that.
Yeah, I'm gonna call up. I'm sorry, I was trying to look up Hope Voss. Is that how you say her last name? Yeah. So I'm gonna immediately.
So it's funny. I keep screwing up her last name. And I keep going back and forth between Voss and Wells.
Okay, yeah, I have Voss. You told me Hope Voss.
Okay, it depends who she's talking to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was she like previously married, or she just got like pseudonyms where she's like, no, I'm Wells. I'm doing Wells. Yeah, over at Blackstar. I'm gonna give her a call.
Yeah, so she'll answer. She'll be like, hello.
Hey, Hope. This is Tala.
Tala, yes.
Yes. I was told to reach out to you by the Baron. That you and I have very similar interests currently in some displaced people, potentially.
Excellent, yes. Yes, let's go ahead and... Are you free to meet up and talk about it?
I would love to talk in person about this if you can.
All right. Yeah, I'll meet you over in your place at the square, Mason Square.
Mason Square. Can do. Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds fantastic.
It'll be there in like 20, 30 minutes.
Okay. Perfect. I'll see you then.
All right.
She
hangs up.
Yeah. I was like, that's the conversation. I was just like, when she said your place, I was like, you don't know where I am. Please don't. I'm not going to tell you where I am. Okay, so yeah, Hope Voss, as we all heard earlier, she's looking into the disappearance of the Thin Bloods. Is anyone else curious about this? I know I could potentially use backup. I don't know exactly.
Well, I mean,
what
the
I'm
boss man did mention it, so
yeah. The Baron mentioned it, so I definitely thought that this would be something worth. We could potentially get a boon even with the initiative if we can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I know some people.
Does that pique your interest there, buddy? You with us?
Not at all.
Just like
Ooh.
All right, that looks like a yes. Let's go. Put him in Ratsby. That was a yes. You want to break out of that stupor? Yeah. So I
did he say that he didn't care about position and power and leverage? Did I just say that?
He said that?
He said that? Did you say you were not interested
in getting a boon from the initiative, or with the new initiative?
So he stands up and he goes, "Oh yeah, sure. I have I also have another idea that it's don't even worry about it. Oh yeah, let's go.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Tala's like a little. A little worried now. But
I have some things to talk. I have some things to talk to Quentin about. A possible way out of my predicament.
All right, yeah. So we're gonna head over to Madison Square.
Madison Square.
Matt.
Mason Square.
Mason, thank you.
Yeah, that one.
I was like, I said it, and I was like, I think I said it wrong.
Madison Square is a bit of a drive.
It's a bit of a drive, but well known.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I think I'm guessing. I'm for sure gonna take the van. I'm gonna offer Saoirse. I know she's ridden with me before, so it hasn't been an issue. But yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm
Smile.
still
Yeah.
working on getting a new car.
Yes,
Closer
just
though.
because normally I deal predominantly in stealth, but with what we've been dealing with recently, I'm a little more on the cautious side. I'm feeling a little like things are bubbling up, like things are building. So Tal is definitely feeling more like, okay, potentially safety in numbers right now. Especially because, with the coterie, there is some level of trust, at least. So, yeah, let's head over.
So you guys head over to Mason Square, which is within your domain. And again, it's one of those large open squares for like live performers and events, like farmers markets and things like that. The buildings that are around the square are a lot of like independent shops, and there's a few bars that are in the area. And of course, these bars are only playing live music ever, and it's like the creative hub of Northside. And
Okay.
as you guys pull up, there's a few of the like street lamps that are up, and then there's string lights that go between them, and so it's lit but dimly lit, at least around the edges. And there's a few people coming and going between bars. And you know that in the center, there's a few benches for people to sit at, where it is private enough that you could talk about sensitive information.
Okay, yeah, I was assuming there's probably enough. You said there's a couple bars that had live music, so there's enough like general ramble going on.
Yeah.
That people wouldn't take too much notice.
Yeah, and being like a square, you can basically see in any direction if somebody's like walking your way. So if they're going to get close, you could change the topic. So it's, yeah.
Okay. I think I am going to actually. I'm going to send out a couple spiders as we're walking up, just to kind of watch the perimeter. And basically, I'm using them to sense for any other kindred coming in the area that are like walking in the area.
Okay.
I'm gonna use. Let me do this first. Let me double check that real quick. Just gonna pull some spiders out of my jacket like normal. Alright, I'm gonna have to re-roll that one lost on the table. Alright, that is gonna be a whopping 4.
Okay. So that's just enough for what you needed.
Oh, perfect.
So they get the idea, go out. If they sense, creepy people like your two friends here, let you know.
Cool. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So
Sorry, go ahead.
they do go out, kind of in different spots around the perimeter, and one of them comes scampering back, but isn't quite quick enough because she's coming to warn you that Hope is coming in.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, since Hope's walking directly towards you, they can't quite walk faster.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is good because that's the kindred I'm expecting. So
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
But yeah, so Hope comes walking up. She's dressed in all black and she's got like a flowy, hippie-ish like shirt on with a big hood. Her long black hair, like red eyeliner. She comes up and smiles and she's like, it's been a while since I've seen you three.
feels like we're always in something.
So it seems.
Yeah.
Definitely the word for it.
Yeah. We're very intrigued. The Baron told us about these potentially missing Thin Bloods, and I feel like there's been a lot brewing recently. So I was hoping we could either assist, or if you happen to know anything in particular that could help us in our investigation.
Well, I would love the help with looking into this.
What have you found so far?
Well, there's something going on for sure. There's been an abnormal amount of the Thin Bloods who have gone missing lately. But at the same time, there's been an influx in the amount of Thin Bloods who are coming to town. And I've tried asking them, but they won't tell me what's going on.
Okay.
And I've tried talking to Primogen Adam, the Primogen of the Thin Bloods, but he's pretending like he doesn't know anything about it. He won't tell me anything.
He doesn't seem concerned with
not at all.
Potential mass, gathering, and then all the missing members?
Yeah, thinks it's not happening. And there's a group of the Thin Bloods that have been here for a while, and they've been training all the other Thin Bloods in town on how to fight and protect themselves. So I think that they're in some kind of trouble, which it's okay. I understand needing to protect yourself, but honestly, if a Thin Blood tried to fight a Bruja, they're fucked. Doesn't matter how well trained they are.
Yeah.
I mean, she's right.
Yeah.
She just glances at you and she's like,
Yeah.
that's completely understandable. I mean, I think most of us against a Bruja would be in a bad situation, but
yeah.
That is rather alarming that they're, or at least intriguing that they seem to be trying to create some sort of militia for defense.
Yeah, and they won't talk to me about it, which is strange because I've always been close with them. Being a Ketif, I've been through a lot of what they've been through, but they're not talking about this.
How long has it been going on?
Been going on for, well, I noticed it going on for a few months.
Okay, so probably not the Inquisition then.
It's been happening since before they were known about.
Okay.
So,
does Adam seem...
Flippant.
Could he be hiding them? No.
Okay.
he's hiding something.
Sure. Guess it's hard to
But
tell.
it seems very odd that he seems so relaxed or like laissez-faire about the situation.
Yeah, I agree. And it's frustrating because I can't call him out on it or anything because he's a primogen.
Yeah.
Like,
He's also not using his position to get resources, which could imply that he's just worried that he'd lose status if he can't protect his own.
Yeah. This one, I kind of... Okay, I do think I might have someone I can follow up with just to see what they've heard about, the thin bloods around town and what's been happening. But, yeah, we would definitely love to help. Is there anyone else that you're working with, Hope, at this moment? Is there anyone else looking into this other than you and the Baron?
I mean, my coterie was helping a little bit, but they've relied so much on me to interact with the Thin Bloods up until this point that they don't really have much to go off of because they leaned on me for that, and I've expired all of my
Resources.
options. So we're kind of at a dead end here.
Okay.
And a lot of the other kindred in town just don't care because
Yeah.
they're Thin Bloods. And
Sure.
Yeah.
either they don't care because they're just Thin Bloods, or they think that it's good they're going missing because they're going to bring the end of the world.
What? Wait, what? Is that really what's going on?
What do
Who
you
thinks
mean?
that? What kind of backwards shit are we talking about?
You know, Gehenna and the end of the world, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
one of the signs of Gehenna is the increase in Thin Bloods, which there's been a massive increase of, and so the elders and older folk are all worried about, like, oh, these Thin Bloods, they're a sign, we should kill them all.
Okay. So you think
Oh.
that it's potential retaliation for reading into a prophecy? Or reading in... Yeah.
Well,
Could be one scared person trying to prevent the end of the world.
it's strange.
Sounds
like,
a little Malkavian to me,
It's-
or just a little backwards.
strange because before New Haven Initiative took over, it was the standard law that basically any Thin Bloods that came to town were just killed outright. Like, because all of the elders were afraid of this, every clan regardless. They believe in this prophecy.
I mean,
And
Ravenos weren't allowed just because they were racist, but...
yeah.
Sorry,
And-
I just read what Paul put in the chat. We're offended.
I know, I was like, Quentin's just being real quiet about that Malkavian comment.
We're offended.
But yeah, now that New Haven's taken over, they've been allowed, and they even have been given a primogen seat. So yeah, like,
it'd have to be really ballsy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
So it sounds like your current theory is you think it's retaliation by an elder or someone who believes in
Yes.
that this is leading
I'd
up
say
to
it's someone.
Gehenna.
Yes.
Okay. Feels like we're always doing something. All right. Yeah.
Oh, to bring the end of the world? Probably. Have you looked around?
Or, save it.
Pretty good.
Help end it. Bit of both. Capiche, capiche.
We'll see. We'll write it out.
Yeah, I think in the meantime, we will definitely aid you in this, and I'll check in with my information network. Yeah, I think there's two people especially who I'm really keen to reach out with this information. So please let me know please let us know if you find anything else, and we'll do the same.
Certainly.
Do you remember, like... I mean... Okay. Alright, no. Not in character. So, as a whip, when... I was acting as a whip when Adam was appointed, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do I remember, like, hearing from a particular clan or anything that seemed like they were, more strongly against it than anybody else?
Like
Or even a
response.
group. Yeah.
Well, there were definitely some members of like the Ventrue who were opposed because they
The unwashed, yes.
The unwashed masses.
Just letting
Ew,
them in,
more
huh?
people?
yeah.
They're not people.
Those
Yeah.
are the Karens, a bunch of Ventrues.
Yes. In my neighborhood? No.
Yeah, they were already being pushed pretty far by letting like the merger of the Anarchs, but now you want to let them in? Like,
Insanity.
yeah, this is pushing it too far.
But no, like,
Uh,
particular name?
No, like,
They're
I'm looking for more like a religious outcry.
Okay.
Like,
Especially since it's a prophecy for the end times.
yeah.
none that you're immediately aware of.
Okay. So it seemed like it was unwashed masses, not a fan, but nothing to the point of like, we must exterminate them because it is the right
Yeah.
thing to do.
Yeah, and then you would have heard that a couple of
More
elders
like
from
Holy Order.
yeah, a couple of elders from like the Nosferatu and Toreador clans were both concerned with the Thin Bloods because they view them as more of a threat because Thin Bloods can walk during the day, which means if they found out where any kindred lives, they could go there during the day and just kill them.
Yeah.
And so they didn't like that and didn't want them in town because of it. But
one of the, I mean, one of the people I definitely want to follow up with is Echo to find out more about, I guess to read in more about the Gehenna prophecy and what the Nosferatu speak of it, especially since now I've heard that the Nosferatu, or potentially some of the Nosferatu, were outspoken about the Thin Bloods being allowed with the new initiative.
okay. So, any questions for Hope in the meantime?
Is Adam at the point where he's just not taking anybody talking about it anymore, or where do you feel like he's at with this subject?
Um,
Like, if we asked to talk to him, like, officially.
he would be willing to meet with you, but he'll probably just brush it off and just be like, "Hey, there's nothing to worry about. Don't worry. Just let it go. Nothing's happening."
Alright, go for a
Kind
weaker
of-
link.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's the kind of bullshit he's given me.
Alright.
Sorry, it just seems odd, even as being the Primogen, that he seems so. But it could just be he's very
Could he be being manipulated mentally?
I was curious because it seems like he's either just not being forthcoming with information. What it sounds like from what you said, Hope, you are on good terms, and it doesn't seem like he would be, holding back potentially from you. But it comes across very odd how he is just so nonplussed about the Thin Bloods potentially disappearing.
He could be being manipulated somehow, but then again, if you go to any Primogen and try to ask them about what issues their clan are having, they're going to tell you to kick rocks because it's clan business.
Yeah.
The Brujos would just tell you to kick rocks. They wouldn't.
Yeah, or
No matter
they
what you
will
asked.
make you kick rocks. So yeah,
Better to kick than be the rock.
yeah.
Other than Adam,
I smell what the rocks
who
cooking.
You have a TV.
who else is we lived through the 90s? Who else is someone that you have reached other than Primogen Adam? Who has been someone else that you've been following up with? Like who is your next big resource to try and look into this? I want to make sure that I don't accidentally, backtrack too much on stuff you've already looked into.
I talked to the sheriff about it, but he also doesn't seem to care.
Okay, he's also pretty
He's been
The
busy
Thin
with
Bloods,
other stuff.
Did any of them come from the Anarchs?
All of them did.
Mm-hmm.
All the Thin Bloods.
He doesn't care.
Yes.
The Baron does. Interesting.
Okay, that is good to know. All right. Well, I think that's all. That's all the information I need for now, so that I can look into it more. But yeah, doesn't bode great with everything we have going on in town right now.
Paul did just nail it. This group is still enamored with TVs.
It's so good. The moving
I
pictures.
understand.
They're
The
so
fuck
small.
is-
I get it.
What even is 8K?
I don't need it.
8,000 of what?
That's too many.
Yeah.
It's not how much the TV costs.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So
We gotta find a Thin Blood who's afraid and get them to spill their guts about what they think is happening. That's what we gotta do.
Yeah, we gotta track someone down who has more inner workings of what could be going down.
Who has a personal stake and is afraid? That's what I'm betting on.
Okay. I'm down for that. A interrogation hunt.
Friendly inquiry
Yeah.
into people's well-being.
Let's just call it
So-
a mock interview.
I'm just going to let you guys get to work, and I'm going to head out. She
There's
just
like-
turns and
Like spitballing, like, who can we find?
she just
Yeah.
kind of turns and hurries away.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was more like, okay, thanks. We'll talk to you later. Good.
Yeah. And
Yeah, the whole time I was just like, yeah, I've been taking just kind of did a couple notes down of, I was like, okay. Yes, I am very intrigued and want to talk to Echo to find out more of what some of the Nosferatu beliefs are and how deep that could run, because that could potentially be a little bit more on the culty side, like Saoirse's suspicion.
Because, like, the people who get the most premonitions are the Toreadors and the Malkavians, yeah?
Yeah.
Mainly it's Malkavian. Toreadors can get them, but it's
Isn't it usually
primarily Malkavian. That's what they're mainly known for.
Isn't it the Toreador? It's from blood that they're able to gain access to the discipline.
No. It's one of their clan disciplines.
Okay,
They can get premonition, but
not as.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Malkavians have that power as well, but they're also known for getting grander visions and like
They have, like, a whole
actual-
network.
Their mind is more
know.
open to accepting visions.
Mm-hmm.
like they actually prophesize the week of nightmares and big world level things like that.
Yeah.
Whereas Toreadors might like be able to get a premonition that they're going to trip in 10 minutes.
And ruin
So-
their suit.
Yeah, different
And
scale.
that's very important.
And that's scary for them.
It's probably the same level of scary
Yeah, they're
for
like,
them.
that's world ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I
Battered.
think. Is there an area of town? Looking at Saoirse. Is there an area of town that's like known for the Thin Bloods to hang out, other than like not in their haven, not in their like the edges of their domain? Which domain do the Thin Bloods currently occupy?
Yeah.
I'm very curious about that.
Thin Bloods don't have like a clan domain,
Okay.
just like they don't have a clan.
Okay.
There are some Thin Bloods that are part of like coteries that have domains.
Do we have any relationships with those coteries?
Off the top of my head, I know you have relationships with one of them that are awful.
Yeah.
Is it?
Because pulling up the notes real quick, so I give you the right information.
Arachne had a thin blood friend.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Arachne was like a sister. I'm also weirdly into spiders. It's fine.
This
Good, I have them.
Yeah.
one thing you guys would have actually learned about in the weeks off, because I believe Tala was actually kind of following up with what Primogen Willow has been doing.
Yes.
And one thing is he's been
I
forming
hate that bitch.
he's been forming a new coterie
Of course he has.
Huh.
named
Quickly
the
over it.
League. Yeah, named the League of Ashes.
Oh,
This guy.
oh, it's so cute.
Yep.
He's also so passive aggressive.
What a pretentious
Perfect.
dildo.
And one of these coterie members is a thin blood.
Really? Willow
Yep.
has
Really
a new
having-
coterie that we could
really
potentially
having to
talk
scrape.
to.
Really having to scrape the bottom of the barrel for that one, huh?
All right.
Not a whole
Alright.
lot of open invitations being
Huh?
accepted, huh?
Well,
It's almost
that's-
it's almost like you're getting a pretty bad rap. Like you
Quentin
keep
just
leaving
yells.
alive.
Quentin just yells from his operating room, "It's a kill squad! It's a kill squad!" We're not there. It's like, oh, back to what I was doing.
yeah.
Yeah, Paul,
whisper
that's
on the
absolutely not a kill squad
Not
designed to
designed
take us down. Nope, definitely not.
Anyway,
Yep.
Kermit just sipping the tea.
Yeah.
That's none of my business.
Yeah.
None of my business.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
The House of
Patrick
Ashes.
Farms.
Huh.
Yeah.
A bit of a sore spot on that, huh?
The League of Ashes.
It's,
Yep.
it's
I was
crazy that you keep making it, Willow.
Yeah.
How odd is that?
It's weird that all your
Oh my
companions
God.
keep
That's
dying.
a great rumor, though.
I mean,
Yo,
yeah.
you think I'm not gonna start talking about that?
Absolutely. You gotta
I
get
just
her out
got
there.
I got Karens. I could do all kinds of shit.
Have you heard about Willow? Oh man.
Ooh.
Yep.
What if I made all 15 of the Karens ghouls?
Oh my
Oh,
god. That would be
Think of
terrifying.
how much. Think of how much. Paul, I know
Tremere
you're watching.
Karen?
Think of how much we could get done.
So destructive. But
Think of how much we could get done. We, as in me
my
and you.
God.
Me
That's-
and you could reshape this world that
that's
Gavin
an
has
army.
created.
You're making an army.
Yep.
Okay.
Everyone,
well,
write that down.
fuck.
Write that down. Write that
So-
down.
Just lose one humanity per Karen you ghoul. Just-
Absolutely. Worth
Is
it.
it? Wait. Is it technically?
worth.
Would it be losing humanity? Did they ever have humanity?
Yeah,
in the
are they
first
people,
place?
Gavin?
No,
Are
you're
they people?
you're losing the humanity because you're making a monster worse. That's going to ruin other people's lives.
You're making
True.
monsters stronger.
True.
So you're not losing humanity for them. It's for their
Karen?
victims.
Karens are the descendants of the old gargoyles.
Oh.
Oh God.
New lore. New lore.
No.
A
Oh,
Karen
God,
that
it
can
could
use
use
awe?
awe?
Oh,
Because they
No.
always
my
bring attention to themselves. They
God.
always do
No,
that.
no, a Karen would naturally use
Whoa.
daunt. That Karen wants people to fear her. She doesn't want people to love. She wants to be feared.
True.
She is
Fear
a
and respect.
golden god with a hair up to
Yeah.
here.
We have things to talk to Gabe about.
Gabe, what's your real name? Yeah. Oh, but that's so fun to learn. He's got a new pretentious fucking coterie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some.
And the
wow.
only way he would have a thin blood in it is so that he could use that person as a killer. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's a day murderer.
As a day murderer.
Oh, totally doesn't sound like a kill squad. Nope.
Nope.
Definitely.
Definitely not. Who else is in his coterie? Who else we got? What's
Yeah,
what's his little
yeah, who else is
what's
he
his
working
little
with?
plan? What's he doing?
I'm sure this by now this is we've collected enough seen coming and goings that we might know some of the other
Coteries are like
members.
officially made, right? Like
Mhm.
they're known.
They're they
It's like a
usually
spit
they come
handshake.
up and
You're
because
in
usually
now.
they're granted domain as a coterie.
Mhm.
Like this group hasn't yet, but
They actually have to like file with the new initiative. Be like, here's our application. We'd like this space.
Can we get a
So-
permit?
Yeah, we found a nice warehouse.
We want to build a deck.
there's 2 other members. So there's a total of 4 members. There's
Before there was also 4.
Yep. So there's Primogen Willow Cromwell.
Yes.
Then there is Desmond von Segern, who's a Ventru. And Zachariah Maganti, which is the Thin Blood. And then Minister Isaac of the Ministry.
What? Two Ventures, huh? Okay.
2 Venture and a Thin Blood. That's a very interesting combo.
Mm-hmm. It's also interesting. Because we'd worked with Isaac before, right? Is he the guy with like the Vladimir like Russian beard dude with a hawk? I believe was the image.
No. That's,
No.
that's Bishop Giovanni.
Okay, cool. All right. So, when you say ministry, is he part of that ministry, or is he part
Yep.
of like? Okay,
It's part of the Ministry, the clan.
the ministry. Okay.
Former followers of Set.
Interesting.
And these are the
Was that-
4 that have come together for the League of Ashes.
Yep.
Yeah, this is.
Mhm.
Paul called it.
Yeah, 100%. There's no way that
God damn it.
the Primogen, who was like, "What insanity are you talking about? Bringing this trash in here? I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one.
I'm gonna get one. They seem useful for
I'm gonna do that."
for projects.
I got so many projects, dude.
I got some projects I need to take care of. I need a Thin Blood.
Ghouls are just not cutting it anymore. I gotta upgrade.
Yep.
Our ghouls keep going missing. Well, fuck. Okay. Glad we kept an eye on him, cause he's a real slippery bitch.
He's a busybody.
He's a real Karen, that one.
He's a real Karen.
Yeah.
Can't keep him down for very long.
Well, it's a good move on his part, though. Gotta applaud a player's game, you know.
Recognize the game.
I
Game
recognize
recognizes
that
game. Yeah, I bet
Oh,
Quentin sees that
did we
and he
send
goes,
a little werewolf assassin to kill your people?
"Did we use a
Oh.
thermonuclear bomb to kill one person?"
Got a couple of them. It's
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Quentin hears this and he goes, "Huh. Okay."
It's okay. The number 1 spot on the top of his list emptied up, so now he's got a new one.
He also said, "For the record, the only one on the shit list is Willow until the rest act up."
Yeah.
It's only Willow for now.
Ow.
Yep.
Until it's not.
The others have
All right.
reservations.
Till you prove me wrong.
Yep.
Interesting. I think we may need more ghouls. Maybe some more security around. Daytime shit. Project for another day.
Yeah. We.
You wanted to talk to Echo?
We could probably work on some. Yeah, I want to talk to Echo, but we could also probably work on additional warding for the Haven.
Yeah.
And we need to talk to the butler about more security measures for during the day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would like to send a message to Echo through my usual route of just of asking to meet up with him
Well,
when he's available.
you go to send a message to him, but
Yeah.
as you go to like grab a spider and such,
Yeah.
this kid just kind of speaks up from behind you. He's like, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
Howdy.
You guys seem busy. What you up to?
We're still in the street, right? Like we're still
Yeah.
just in the square.
Yeah,
We've
this-
been
See him come up.
Fucking Willow.
This kid just like showed up behind you.
Yeah.
He, like, didn't see him coming or anything. Just,
Very Nosferatu of him.
it's
Uh,
me. It's Echo.
I love every interaction with him so much. He's just this little like rat person, but he's my favorite.
And Jax is like subtle.
Yeah, it's me. Like pulls up like like one of those like paper boy hats, and he's like, "It's me."
Yep.
Hey, perfect timing. It's almost like you
Oh,
can
I know.
hear my
Oddly.
whispers,
Oh yes.
and I know you can.
Oh yes. I hear
He
everything.
watches me as I sleep.
He tries. He tries. He doesn't know where I sleep.
Oh, that's what you think.
Not all of them. But yes, Echo, I actually was looking for you. This is perfect timing. I know you are so tapped into everything that happens. As you said, you hear everything.
Yep.
Apparently a lot of Thin Bloods have been going missing recently.
Oh yeah, it's tragic.
Yeah. Yes.
Does he really seem tragic?
He's not at all. He just that probably facetious, potentially. But he's so adorable. Yes, actually, it is both tragic and somewhat alarming. We were trying to see if there's been any talk about where these Thin Bloods have been disappearing to or disappearing from. I know they don't have a super concentrated area where they keep. I mean, there's a few haunts and stuff, but what have you heard in your whispers about what's happening?
Well, information comes.
I was like, at the
price.
same time, yeah, I pull out, like, I have luckily, I had a gold chain, like a thinner gold chain, but it's like pure gold.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take that off and hand it to Echo after I ask that question. I know there's a price with Echo.
His eyes light up, and he just takes this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Let's stay that way.
yeah. All right. So figuring out where they're going and what they're doing, that's pretty hard, and he's just playing with the chain at this point.
I make a mental note
like-
to get a fidget spinner for
It's
him.
it's kind of like I do a couple clicks up here to get his attention back.
Yeah, sorry. So they've been hanging out with a couple of people that I wouldn't expect them to hang out with. That's
Oh, who's that?
well, one of them is what's his name?
Hello?
No. The rabbi,
Isaac?
yeah. No, Rabbi.
Oh.
Rabbi Burko Schwitz. Yeah, something like that. But the other is Bishop Giovanni.
Okay, so the rabbi and the bishop
Ministry.
have been. The Thin Bloods have been seen hanging out with them a lot,
Yeah,
or having interaction, I guess.
yeah.
Okay.
They go to the bishop's church pretty regularly.
Interesting. They always are trying to kind of
Yeah.
recruit.
Yeah,
aren't they?
I try to go in there and see what the hell they're doing, but
Yeah.
God, getting into that bishop's place is a bitch.
Even using the walls?
Yeah.
Do they have warding up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
The bishop does not like people to listen to him.
I wonder.
And then he's got the scary things that'll rip your soul from you if you try to like fuck with him.
What are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need that. Kind of like
Oh, wait,
scratches your forearm.
I haven't heard of these. What are? Yeah, what are these things?
I mean, these two, you guys remember back those like creepy shadow things? They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat you."
Oh.
and-
Like wraiths?
Oh shit!
Yeah,
No.
kind of.
Can I look around and see if anybody's hearing this shit? And
I. No, there's
No, you're-
music.
They're far enough away that they're like minding their own business.
okay,
I just think we're LARPing. It's
Yep.
Yeah.
You're just talking to
We're
some
just
kid.
Yeah, we're just weirdos talking. It's
yeah, I'm just looking around like homeboy is letting some real shit out right now.
But yeah, he's like, yeah, no, he's got like those all like chained up there and shit. It's like it's intense. Ugh,
Yeah.
never piss him
We
off.
saw-
that
Yeah,
is
we
good
saw him
to
do that
know.
one time.
Yeah. But yeah, they talk. They go to his place quite often, and
Are they
I know, like-
seen coming out?
yeah, they go
Okay.
and come out, and then I know that like the rabbi takes them on like field trips, and they come back, and
Huh.
Real generous sort that.
What does Primogen Adam think about all this activity?
Have you seen him go?
Is he? Yeah, has he also been involved?
nope, I haven't seen him.
You haven't seen him? Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
I mean,
And you guys have had previous experience with Bishop Giovanni? Are you guys on good terms? I'm asking Saoirse.
I don't know that you could say that. It was
Right.
quite a few years ago now. Cause who hired us to look into that shadow thing the first mission? Like it was a guy with dreads, and I think Serafina was there too.
yeah, you got hired by one of the Tremere originally, who then you did some investigation and found your way to Serafina, who was Primogen at the time, who then directed you to Bishop,
Okay.
and the Bishop's like, yes, I can seal that off and completely take care of it. I just need your help to kind of stand guard in case people come up or something,
Yes. Okay.
so that they don't see something they shouldn't.
And did we get a boon from someone for that? Was it from the original Tremere? Because it had to do with the dock. No, did he have something
No.
to do with the docks? Fuck.
Fortunately, this is before my time.
This is way before. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the very beginning.
Well, we'll just say for simplicity's sake that you would have used that boon by now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's long gone.
If you had one, just
Yeah.
because I honestly don't remember exactly that.
Because I know we went to his church. We talked to him a little bit. He for
Yep.
sure is the one that chained the Wraith. Is that what you said? They're called?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've seen him do that act.
You've seen,
Yeah. I
you've
feel like
seen him-
Serafina was there too at the time.
She wasn't there at the ritual,
Okay.
but you guys did go report into her afterwards to let her know it was done.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you guys did see him do a ritual that sealed up the tear in between this world and the spirit realm. And then,
Tear in the veil.
yeah,
Mhm.
there's a tear in the veil, and he sealed it up. And then he took the remaining wraiths that were around and bound them to himself and took
Okay.
control of them so that they wouldn't go running rampant.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And now he's using them as protections
Yeah.
at his church, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Would Serafina have any insight about what could be motivating the church at this moment? Or would she have shared that with the Baron?
Isn't she dead?
Serafina,
Sir-
no.
Oh no, sorry. I was thinking. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Seraphina has insights into all sorts of things, but now that she's prince, getting a meeting with her is extremely difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could call for a meeting, and in like 6 months she'll get to you.
I'm just curious if, like, even if Marcus might have some insight. Just, I was thinking about Seraphina because she had the contact back in the day. She's the one that directed us there, so.
They might. Yeah.
Alright, so we could talk to Marcus.
Yeah. Marcus.
Maybe get a little bit of direction.
Or we could potentially talk to the rabbi or bishop directly.
Whew.
But I feel like the bishop is going to be not.
I don't remember him being a fun time.
Yeah, I don't.
Like,
think
I'm
he's
just
gonna
gonna
be a
be-
fun time. So probably Marcus or the rabbi, but I'd also like to get a little more intel on Bishop Giovanni and Rabbi Berkowitz.
Yep. Rabbi Berko Schmitz.
Berko Schmitz. Okay.
Yeah.
I really misspelled that. Okay.
Sorry, he said Berkowitz the first time. So.
Okay.
That's actually the rabbi's another former player character.
Oh, that explains the name.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I'd like to look into them a little bit more, but I think you're right. I think Marcus might be the better, reasonable turn to look into more of this. Echo, have
We
you?
can also.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. No, your friend's here. Go ahead.
Hey, Echo, have you? I mean, obviously you'll know, but what exactly is the word amongst the word of the labyrinth for the thin bloods tied to Gehenna and the end of the world?
That's like that old ass like thing, Book and Nod and all that.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely some old
old elder beliefs and like
Right,
the
right.
boogeyman.
Right.
Yeah,
I think-
it's that whole thing that like once the blood gets thin enough, like eventually Cain is gonna reemerge and eat us all and something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd have to look into it more.
Okay. Well,
I personally don't like cults, so I'd like stay away from them.
Oh, okay. Well, if
Because
you...
I love Kool-Aid just too much.
Well, if you do,
It was
have
actually
time...
Powerade, so.
I just love Kool-Aid.
Well, you're safe. That wasn't what he used.
It's just the Kool-Aid man. It's the cult
Yeah.
of the Kool-Aid man, not
Man,
Jen Snow.
if he comes for me, I'm fucked. I just give in right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like not too many of the elders are still talking about it. Right. Now.
They still talk about it all the time. Like,
Oh yeah? Like who?
the elders talk about it a lot. Like, we got a couple of Nosferatu elders that are just like worried and they bitch about it and they're rambling sometimes, and then
Like pretty.
the prince
like,
has mentioned
pretty
it a few
frequently?
times.
Oh, the prince has brought it up too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, again, thank you for your.
She
time.
has like an odd stance for it. Like,
What's her stance on it?
like she's more of the belief that like when Cain comes back, like he's not gonna kill us all because like we're like cool with him and he's gonna make us a heaven on earth.
So he's going to pave way for the vampire for all of us.
Yeah.
Is what Seraphina believes. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually did not know that. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
that's good to know.
Does the Book of Nod ring any bells?
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know the Book of Nod. It's this old. It's like the Bible for Kindred.
Like
Yeah.
Ministry Bible, or
No, they're different. Like, it's where like the origin myth for Kindred comes from.
Mhm.
You know, Cain and Abel, and then he
So
gets
would it
lost.
have-
And then,
Hey, I've heard that one up
yeah.
recently.
So it would have all the information that, like was disclosed earlier, all that lore. What? It has been a while since I've read it. Was it not? Sorry, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this for him. Would not then. So it sounds like Seraphina is actually. In her mind, this is a good event if it were to take place based off the Book of Nod. Sounds like this is something that she potentially is looking forward to.
I guess, yeah.
Has she? You said she's been talking to the prince has been talking about it recently. Has she been talking about it with some of the Nosferatu elders or some of the other elders? Maybe some of the other clans?
Yeah, she talked about it with some other elders in town, and old people, they like to talk about old stuff and tell old stories, and
It's true.
yeah. So it's like that. They're like
Okay.
having old philosophical debates and such.
Got it. Okay.
So
Well, thank you, Echo. Here, I'm gonna slip him a little ring, like a little pinky, like a Coke dealer pinky ring that I got at a pawn shop.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm gonna slip that to him and just say,
So
I know
before
you're the
you
king of-
ask,
yeah.
he puts it on his ring finger. He's like, "I thought you'd never ask." So it's on his
Well,
wedding ring finger.
You know what? You're right. I do have a big ask, and that ask is: I know you're the king of whispers.
Mhm.
Can you?
And now you're the queen. So yes,
Well, I've always been the queen.
Oh,
of course.
But not of
You've always
whispers.
been my queen.
Well, you know what? I'm glad someone feels that way. Anyway, can you look into? It's like Tala. It doesn't even register for her. He's just this adorable little rat man that she works with, where she's like, and just goes right back into it.
neat, dude.
Yeah, like fantastic, and then just not even goes over her head. She's aware of it. She just doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've always been the queen. And then yes, can you when you are available to it, can you look more into just keep your ears open for more talk of what's happening with the Thin Bloods, and if you can find us more information about Rabbi B, that would be great.
Yeah,
That would be
okay.
fantastic.
Sure thing.
And I'll say your name when we need you next.
All right, I'll be waiting.
Fantastic,
He
as always.
goes
And then
and,
I just walk away from him.
he starts to jog off into towards like an alley.
Yeah. And then he's just gone. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yep.
All right. Well, kind of just that was actually semi-fruitful. We should go back to the Haven though if we're gonna have this this is all in code. From this point, now that as soon as he walked away from us, I started doing the beep 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 because one of my clan traits is our coterie has an impenetrable code that we can speak in, so other people can't eavesdrop, and we use it. Actually, it's been really nice. But so I'm immediately going to switch over to that as soon as Echo walks away. And just say, yeah, we should, there's a lot to talk about. We should head back to the Haven, because I want to discuss this further. And then head back. Yeah, because the Seraphina stuff is intriguing. Or I don't know. I feel like this is important information, but I don't know which way it goes yet. So... especially given Quentin's prophecy that he had, but this was we attributed it to the werewolf boy of giving the werewolf back, and then it was like the end of the world, but the tower of the prince still stood. So
The tower was crumbling.
oh, it was crumbling. Okay, that's
Yeah.
okay. Then never mind. It's still interesting, but I for a second was thinking back to that, and I was like, wait, what?
What was that group that covertly like asked us if we wanted to do like illegal blood hunts? Like, who was that contact?
That was. They had the very unique name of the Hunt Club.
Oh God,
That's who I would like
Yeah.
to speak with.
the Hunt Club.
Yep.
I'd like to speak
and
to
the
the
League
club.
of Ash. We gotta
Yeah.
get better naming conventions.
We
out
gotta-
there.
And we're Quentin's boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Choo, choo,
man,
choo.
we gotta vet these better.
Fighting the League of Shadows over here.
Yeah, ham-fisted names like.
It's just the old guard is like, yeah, it's a classic, okay?
Yeah.
Like, it's coming back.
Back in my day, we had the pyramid.
We had
Yeah.
the
And we were
all-seeing
happy to
eye.
have
And we were, well, I mean, we were forced to be happy, but we were happy.
But we were happy in that we were sad, but you weren't allowed to
Civilization
show
was
it.
200 miles
Free will
wide.
was an illusion, and we were okay with that, I think.
Yeah. Except I
How I
couldn't.
remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
And then everything went dark.
The Hunt Club. Hold on, I gotta put that down.
But yeah, you'd have to put your feelers out there amongst the kindred to see who's connected to them, because the other contact has like disappeared.
Oh,
Mysteriously.
weird.
Yep.
Crazy.
Crazy how that happens sometimes.
Yep. They left town. I don't know.
Never to be seen or heard from again, right?
Yep. The ST, they kind of got lost with the ST's memory of them, so I'll have to figure that out.
Now, I think I would just have to find my physical notes, which I think are in my binder,
Okay.
which is somewhere.
Well, if you do find that, let me know, because yeah, I lost a few notes from the first couple of games, so
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if I did it. I don't know. Alright.
we'll see.
I want to find
But-
some hunting.
So we'll let you guys can meet up back at the Haven, and if you want to talk for a bit, you can. Otherwise, then we'll like wrap it up for the night.
Yeah.
You were kind of
Oh.
quiet there, Jax. What you thinking?
Thank you for the follow, Numa Numa.
Hey,
282!
Ah!
It's
Yeah.
Numa!
Mhm.
Hi. I'm surprised that it took till now, and I'm hurt deeply, deeply hurt.
So
But you were saying that he was being quiet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just thinking a lot. That's it.
You're always thinking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Generally not this quiet though.
Just got a little bit else on my mind. We've just the past couple of days, you know.
Sure. What do you think about this? Like real talk.
I really don't like the formation of a new coterie with some. He does a heavy eye roll. Fantastic branding.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. We're 100% sure of that.
I am definitely going to be doubling down on ways to make sure that people can't get in, and
Yeah.
I am also probably not going to be sleeping at the Haven for a while. I'm going to go to my own place, just to be safe.
Was it Echo? Did he creep you out? He has that effect.
No, it's...
hey guys, you said my name.
Oh, fuck! Got you!
Yeah, what's up?
No, we're
Yeah.
warded! We're warded! He's just outside!
He's in the van now. Son of a bitch!
God damn it!
I chewed through the seat. I'm in.
Yeah.
It's hard to see through all the other, like, fucking pests in here.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And, nah, nothing. I don't know. Just not feeling safe. But what else is new?
So the butler will step up behind you and offer you a blanket.
I'm
A
good.
weighted blanket?
I'm good.
This usually helps Quentin.
I'm sure it does,
Are you
but
Are you sure you don't want one?
I'm
I'll take it.
positive.
Okay.
I'll take it over here.
I'll hand it to you. Then he'll fade away again.
Misty steps, and he's gone. So that's it. That's all he's willing to talk about the subject.
So it
Yeah,
comes to
you
light
know
on
what?
its own.
He's always been such a warm and vivacious fellow that this standoffishness seems to have come out of nowhere.
Yeah, that he's not lying. He's
No,
like, yeah, I'm just
no.
not gonna,
No, that's
just not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna stay here for a little bit. I did this last campaign too. I just don't
No.
stay at the Haven. I don't stay at the Haven every night anyway. But now it's I'm directly saying, yeah, I'm not gonna be staying here.
I mean, yeah, I literally can't or I'd die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm only there once a week. I just show up, night falls, and I'm like, hey, I'm back. But yeah, that's totally fine. I mean, clearly we all have our stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Hopefully you're able to get some fruition, and I hope something well comes of all that thinking you need to do.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And when you're back, I think we should definitely need to talk about this new League of Ashes and the threat that they're, and what that's going to mean for us going forward, with a few other things. Especially we're going to be throwing a party. Will's going to be a big old bitch, so we got to be aware of that.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Tala. Tala hasn't even been here that long, and Tala's like, nah, I know who to shit on. It's fine.
Yeah.
I know of Willow.
Yeah, I'm kind of starting to think I get it.
Yeah. Well, also, we collectively, there was one where he dicked us at the meeting, and he's a racist, so I'm not big on that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Apparently, so is the person that Sarah talked to also, so that's a thing.
Oh.
Are they racist or just observant?
About the Tremere? Don't tell your Tremere about me.
Because considering his clan ate all of mine.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. They have access to some kind of magical voodoo that sounds pretty powerful. Yum, 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 yum.
Would I notice that her humanity is increased? That
Don't look like a walking corpse anymore.
Yeah, that she's visibly just better, seemingly overnight.
Yeah, what did you increase your humanity to?
A 5.
Back
The
to 5?
Yeah.
So I still get a penalty to talking to mortals, but I don't look
Yeah.
like a walking corpse, and I can actually use Blush of Life.
Yeah. Well, you could still use it at 4, but it's more effective.
Keep food down. I can keep food down.
Yeah. You actually get other benefits for Blush of Life. So yeah, she does look a little bit
You
better.
don't just look sickly all the time.
Yeah.
You don't look like the Crypt Keeper.
I mean, that guy was rather tan, so...
Yeah, but
No, not ever.
Yep. And on a player level, that ability to heal humanity, a character can only ever receive that once.
Okay.
So you'll never get it again.
Oh,
Never gonna get
look
these.
at Paul. He says, huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the Salubri, their clan bane is pretty cool because they're not only do they weep from their third eye when they use disciplines, but their vitae is addictive for other kindred. So if they're exposed to the vitae of a Salubri, it's harder for them to resist a hunger frenzy and eat the Salubri.
See,
So she says
it's
any
not
of the
us.
old guys, but just you.
See, we were just figuring. That's what we do. We were just figuring out a new thing,
Found
and
out it was
and
really
now we know.
tasty.
Yeah, now we know.
Oh, I have a question for you now.
Yeah.
What for
But-
Gavin?
Yeah. I'm gonna text
What?
him. Oh, I'm just texting you something.
Okay.
By the way,
Never
Paul and
mind,
I
my
are Paul
phone-
and I are already scheming
Never
about.
mind, my phone is dead. I know. I was like,
Oh.
wait, I have a thought. But my phone
Yeah.
died.
Well, we will go and wrap it up here for tonight.
Yeah.
And do say 3 experience for tonight.
Yeah.
Exciting.
And
So we should be
Yeah.
at 139 now collectively.
yes.
59 if we ate somebody.
Until we forget why. And then we're all at 59.
Not happening. I made a note.
Oh, shit.
Unless
See
you
how
delete
this
my
works
notes.
next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless his note goes mysteriously missing.
Yeah. Yeah, once like this chronicle wraps up and we start the next, if you keep the same characters, there's a good chance.
What do you mean if we keep the same characters, Gavin?
Well, we've got to let our roving gang of Karens come out somehow.
Yeah, and I mean these characters have to live too.
Oh, I have every intention.
Yeah, they'll make it.
Gavin, now I know you're going to be gunning for me because that army of Karens scares you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Such
You
a
bring
good
in
idea.
them. Mm-mm.
We get to rebuild this
John.
world, Paul.
Yeah, those
You and I.
gloves are coming off.
As soon as they switch us to affiliate, we'll be able to enable the perks, like forming an army of Karens.
Of Karens. Yeah, remember that, everyone. Once you hit
So,
affiliate, army
it's
of
on the
Karens.
It's on the
God.
table.
We'll
It's
be in
on
the
the
middle of
table.
the scene, and the army of Karens will just show up.
My God, yes.
God.
They
Yeah.
manifest.
That's one of our benefits.
Yes.
We got to give them the thing where they can fly around like bats.
Oh my god. Oh, just bat.
I put under important discussions under the chat's guiding hand to remember to show interest in the Hunter Karen campaign so that we can get this happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can strong arm a vote
That
to
would
get it
be
going.
a hilarious one shot.
We do
Oh.
a delightful one shot of Karen
Hilarious
Hunters.
one shot is yes.
In universe, and the repercussions will just ripple out for everyone.
Oh yeah. Shake the very foundations of Crescent City.
Oh God. Yeah.
We built this city. It's ours. It's a beach town. It's for us Karens.
It's a beach town.
Well,
And
beach
then,
city, I guess. Yeah.
Jax just wakes up from a nightmare at the end of the one shot, like, no, I can never do that. I can never do that.
Ooh.
No, it's all Quentin's premonition.
That's what it was the
That's
Karens.
But wait, yeah.
The tower will crumble by the Karens.
You see a lady in red walking in front of a circle of flames.
Yep. And Quentin just goes,
And her name is Karen.
It's Karen.
Yes.
You just see
Paul's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah, Paul said Paul offered to
I'll
run
gladly
it.
run that
Yeah,
shit.
he'll
Oh,
run
God.
that shit.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yep.
it's perfect.
Oh God.
Yeah.
E-
These are the
That'd be
perks, people. These are the
funny.
perks
Yes.
of affiliate. We're mad with power once we have it.
Yep.
Like those Karens.
Like
Man,
those
drunk.
Karens.
We are wine drunk with power at 11 a.m.
Oh my God, we should drink wine when we do it, though.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's
We
Yeah,
all
I would do it.
Just purple teeth.
Okay.
Always
Yep.
just have purple teeth.
I kind of also want to get like a dollar store wig and just cut it real short, so it's not like it's that soccer mom. What, like, can I talk to your manager?
Are you serious? Twitch bleeped out the Karens.
What? It did?
If you, dude,
It's a bad word.
Karen is a slur.
Yep.
There have some that have tried to make it, or have tried to argue
You had
that.
to approve it. Crazy.
Real
Jeez.
Karen move. Just saying.
Yeah, it's funny. It didn't even come up for me to approve. I just see it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Who are
Well,
we?
Looks like
You gotta pick a
we
raid?
are gonna raid the Chief's Den. Their campaign is called "The Cost of Freedom While Seattle Sleeps." Looks like they are on episode 4. So we are going to thank you so much for everyone who came, partook of our lengthy check-in session, I guess.
Yep.
Humanity, Saoirse's humanity.
Oh, yeah.
You got to see my little gremlin man Echo.
Yep.
I got some things to think about.
Oh,
dear.
Let's see.
Yep.
Alright, get this set up real quick.
Yeah, it's funny. I was going to have them take her in for questioning a bit later. But then the Karens happened, and I was like, well, that blew their cover, so they...
I'm gonna
have
need
much
you
of a
to
choice.
put this as a dot on the timeline on the website. It accelerated the FBI's plans.
Yeah. I definitely thought that was a retaliatory move on Gavin, where he's like,
Oh,
I hate these
absolutely.
Karens.
He's like, you know what? They took her. Not the FBI, the Karens. They took her.
Yes. She is now going to become a Karen.
You'll never see your daughter again.
Until it's too late.
Yep.
You have taken her. I have a special set of skills
I
that's
have a very
turning
particular
Karens
set of
into an
skills.
army. Yeah. I will bring the army back. All right. Well, we're going to jump over to raid on Chief's Den. Thank you again, everyone. And, have a good night.
What the Karens happen needs to be merch.
But that'll change when the Karens attacked.
Yep.
Oh, it cut out great.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
Attack of the Karens.
Remember to end the stream also.